everybody, this is Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love, and welcome to episode number 9. If you haven't already, I would please invite you to subscribe to my channel, and as well you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry, all at Kayla Crochet Love. As usual, that'll all be linked down below. Okay. Hi everybody, and happy Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day today. Although I kind of forgot about that. My husband and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. We just don't. I don't know. We show our love for each other every day, so we don't need one day to do that, although I know it's still fun. But yeah, we just don't. Although I bought him a little box of chocolates yesterday and said Happy Valentine's Day, but it was because they were on sale. In case you can't tell, a few days ago I posted about my Mary Maxim yarn haul, and I said I felt like I was getting sick. I got sick. I've pretty much spent the past 3 days in bed or on the couch. I haven't done a whole lot. I have to breathe through my mouth. I apologize. You know, it doesn't sound very nice. I'll try not to make too much gross noises. But yeah, I've been on the couch and I haven't really done a whole lot. Today's the first day. Well, actually, I took some cold medication, and I think that's what's making me feel okay. Yesterday I was able to go out for about an hour, and that was only because I had to. I had an appointment I had to go to, and my husband and I were desperate for groceries. So I'm just kind of taking it easy. I've had the past 3 days off, thankfully, and I go back to work tomorrow afternoon, so we'll see if I feel better by that. Also, I noticed that this episode is a week early. I don't know why I thought it had been 2 weeks, but it had only been a week. But I was all set up and everything, so I figured I'll bring you guys an episode early. And I have enough to show you guys anyways, that I figured it'd be better if I did one now, just because that way I don't have as much to show next time. So, to start, first thing I want to mention is on my... I can't remember if it was my last episode, one of my episodes, I talked about my ribbed collar bandana cowl. And I still would like to post a tutorial for this. I just haven't been up to it the past few days. However, I have posted it on Ravelry. It is available as a free download. If I remember, I will link it down below. So if you want to get started with it, and you can make your own. And if you do make your own, please be sure to share it with me, either on my Facebook, on Instagram, whatever. It's just, I'd love to see them. So I had come up with this pattern for my class. Well, actually, I had come up with this pattern one night for fun, and my students loved it, so I decided I would share it with my class, and I had one of my students made 2 actually, and a couple others had started making it, but I really like this one because it's not too heavy, but it's really nice and comfortable. Now this particular one is made with a bulky weight yarn, and the pattern I wrote is for worsted weight, but I have also added in the pattern you can use whatever weight yarn you want. You just need to modify your stitches and your hook size. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. So, yep, that is available for free on Ravelry. Sorry. I will try and take it easy and take it slower today, just so I don't start hyperventilating on you guys. Okay, I'll go into finished projects, I guess. So, oh, before I forget, last time, my last episode, I forgot to share with you this, cowl. we had went to Great Wolf Lodge in Niagara Falls for my nephew's birthday a few weeks ago, back in January. And on the way down I decided I wanted to crochet because I do not like traveling. I do not like being in cars. Unless it's for short distances. Usually, if I'm in a car, I try and sleep. Not drive while I'm driving, but while I'm a passenger, I try and sleep if it's for long distances. So, I wasn't tired, so I brought my crocheting, and I just made this little cowl. Just thought it up as I went. You can't really tell because of the color. This is using Burnett's Super Value. I don't remember the colorway. It was a ball I had lying around, so you can't really tell, but there's some ribbing, there's some bean stitches, more ribbing, so this is just a nice little cowl I made. And it's just nice and close to your neck. And I just have to say I was really happy I made this on the way down because it was freezing down there and I forgot to bring a hat, which I always have a hat, but I didn't. And I also didn't bring a scarf or anything. So what I ended up doing was I just pulled it up really high and then I put my hood on my coat up and just pulled it tight, and it kept me pretty warm. But by the falls it was really cold. So I was happy I had that. But yeah, just a simple little cowl I made. And it's nice and small. I could tuck it in my pocket if I wanted. Okay. Let's see. I have a couple more things. My last episode I showed you guys my cowl I was working on, and I finished that, my larger cowl. I had started this as a Tunisian crochet project, but it wasn't working out, so I just did crochet, regular crochet, and I've worn this one once, and it's really nice. It's a little bit scratchy, but it's so warm. My husband and I went for a walk the other day, and it kept me so warm. I got cold and I pulled it up past my nose, and it helped a lot, so. I call it my mint chip cowl. I didn't use a pattern for it. It's just something I came up with. And it's nice and big. Oh, got stuck on my glasses. So it just sits kind of like that. Or I'd actually kind of put it up like this too. But yeah, it's really, I'm very happy with it. I might write this pattern down too. It's very easy. So yeah, I might write that one down too. If I get a chance to, if I remember. So there's that. But I love the colors of this one. Okay, there's that one. And then I made a couple hats. So first I made this hat. And it turned out giant. I don't know exactly what I did wrong, but it turned out very big, which is okay. I still like it. It's really comfy to wear, and it doesn't look too big because this brings it in tighter here. So the gray is actually like a tweed, and it was using Cabin Fever yarns. I have a little thing of the red here. I have a little bit of the red, so Cabin Fever. So it's a DK weight. So I ended up double stranding it and crocheting with it. I don't know if that's why it turned out too big, but I double stranded it because this is a bulky weight. It's a faux fur. I can't remember the name of it, but so I double stranded this, and I didn't really do a pattern. I just kind of did, I think I started with double crochets. I did some half doubles, some doubles, and I just kind of went like that. But I like how it turned out. My husband actually really liked it. And I know he liked it because it was comfy. He stole it the one night and wore it at the computer. So yeah. there's that. And I do like it. This fur is so soft. And I actually use this faux fur for another hat. This one here. So the way this one fits, it reminds me of like a vintage hat. I'll show you. My hair's messy today. So the way it fits, it kind of like it doesn't fit snug to your head, but it reminds me of like a vintage hat my grandmother would have had. And I really like it. I think it's cute. Again, I didn't use a pattern, I just kind of went with it. So yeah, I'm happy with how this one turned out too. I might actually give it to my grandmother. I think it would look really cute on her. One of my grandmothers at least. So this one I did the crown with double crochets, and then I rotated some bean stitches and some double crochets, and then I just did the brim here. So that's what I did for that one. And after doing these two, I still had some of this left, not a whole lot. Probably enough to do the brim on one more hat, so I might end up doing that. I might make another hat like this one and give one to each of my grandmothers. I'm not sure yet. So those are my two hats. Sorry, I need to have a drink. And then yesterday I wasn't feeling up to doing much. I wanted a quick project that I could just mindlessly work on while laying on the couch watching movies and stuff. So I made, it looks kind of funny because of the bags in it. So we like to reuse our plastic bags, so I made a little holder for them. So you can just pull them out of the bottom like that, and then there's a, you can open the top and put more inside. Like that. And then I just tie it to our cupboard door. And it's, yeah, turned out alright. I used, at the bottom here, I wanted it to be stretchy, so I actually took two hair bands, and just single crocheted around them. So I just kind of played around with different stitches. Like I started with the singles down here. I did, I think, half doubles here, and then I did for this netted looking part, I did half double, chain one, skip one, half double, that kind of thing. And then up here I did some treble crochets up here, and then I did some singles, I did some doubles. I just did a bunch of different stitches for that, and my husband was pretty happy with that because it keeps our, because we had them in our cupboard and they were just taking up too much room. So I was like, well, I used some of that sugar and cream cotton I got from Mary Maxim. That's what I used for this. So yeah, turned out alright. Not much to say about it. I have this little piece of hair. I don't know if you can see that. It just keeps sticking out. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess today. My last finished project is actually a pretty big one. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen it already. I'm pretty proud of this one. I didn't use a pattern at all, and I've been wanting to crochet more wearables, not like hats and stuff, but like shirts and vests and stuff. So I decided to make my own shirt without a pattern. And the only other kind of shirts I've made were the shrugs, and this is a pullover, so I will show you. I have it on my kind of mannequin thing here because I didn't feel like wearing it, so let me see if I can get it in a frame. So this is the shirt. So I used Care on big cakes for this. I had them in my stash for a long time, quite a while, a few months, and I decided I might as well use them to give this a try. So it is just a short sleeve. It goes to about here. And I did the short sleeve because I didn't know if I had enough yarn. So I used 2 big cakes, and I did still have a little bit left, but I wouldn't have had enough to do 2 full arms. So yeah. And I did ribbing on the arms, on the bottom, and then, sorry, it's a little awkward. The top you can pull up as like a turtleneck, or you can pull down as like a cowl top. So it was actually really easy. What I did was I measured the largest part of my torso, so around like where my belly button is. So I measured that, and then I split it in half. So I split the measurement in half. So say it was 40. I don't remember what it was. Say it was 40. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I took that measurement and divided it in half. So I did each panel. Actually, I crocheted them like this, so each panel would have been 20 inches long. And then I ended up liking the looks of the stripes going down more, and if I had done it the other way, the shirt would have been way too big. I don't like shirts that fit tight. I like them to be looser like this, so it worked out really well anyways. And then I did 2 panels, and then I sewed up, what I did, I sewed up the top first. So I sewed up here until I had enough room for my head to fit through. And then I sewed up, I put it on, I put it over my head, and then I kind of grabbed it together under my arm where I wanted my sleeves to go. And then I sewed downwards. And then for the sleeves, I just half doubled all the way around. So this whole thing's pretty much made with just half double crochets and front post, back post double crochets. So I'm very happy with it. I like how it turned out. And I wore it to Yarn Social last week and got quite a few compliments on it. So I did write some like chicken scratches for it. I don't think that'll be a pattern that I release. Just because I'm not good at the math part. I wouldn't be able to figure it out for other sizes. Although the size I made, I think could wear size small, medium. I tend to wear size smaller, medium shirts, depends where I buy them from. Sometimes I wear large, it depends where you buy them from, so I don't know. I'm probably not going to put that out as a pattern. It was more for fun anyways, and it only took me like 3 days to make it because I was so into it. That was my shirt. So yeah, I was happy with that. Yeah, I need another drink. And I think that's it for finished projects. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I finished. I say that, but that is quite a bit for about a week's worth of work. And I'm hoping I didn't show you guys any of those before. So let's go into works in progress. I only have 2 and both of them are knitting. There's a couple crochet projects I want to work on, but they need a little bit more concentration, and the past few days I just haven't had it. Speaking of that, so my mom had this pattern laying around for a hat. It's called Cables Love Pom Poms by Jamie Brynildson. I'm not I think it's a free pattern, but I'll show you the hat. So it's knit and it has cables. I've never knit cables before, ever. I've just recently got back into knitting a couple months ago. I learned to knit before I learned to crochet, but I didn't like it as much, but I just recently got into it again. So I was like, I'll try the cables. Because I got the idea, like I knew how to do it, but you need to count quite a bit with this pattern. Like, not a lot, it's not that bad, but when you're sick, it's probably not a good idea to try a new technique that you've never done before. I had started it and it was looking okay, but only like 2 of the cables looked okay. The rest, I don't even know what I did. So I ended up frogging it back to the brim, and I just decided to just play with the cable needle in my own way. So I started remaking the hat, and like I said, it's not actual cabling, it just kind of makes it pop out a little bit. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it on camera. Oh yeah, you kind of can. So right here, instead of making like twisted cables, it just kind of pops out a little bit like that. So I don't know how much it'll show when it's on your head, but it was just to practice using the cable needles anyway. I will still try and attempt to make that hat when I'm feeling better and I can concentrate more. So for this one I was using Bernat Super Value Stripes in the color Wild Berry Stripes. And this yarn's actually pretty soft. I was very pleasantly surprised, and it's 100% acrylic, so that's my my hat. It does kind of look neat though. I think it looks better on camera actually. I don't think in person it looks as great. There's some holes and everything. It's far from perfect, but like I said, I'm just getting back into the knitting thing, so I'll finish it and then it'll be done. So I started that one on Tuesday. I felt like knitting would be more mindless for me for some reason. I don't know why, because like I said, haven't done a lot of knitting. Most of it I knew how to knit, purl, and do a couple increases and decreases, and that was it. So you'll live and learn, and I will figure out how to do that later. The other project I've been working on is the hitchhiker shawl, which I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard about. It's a pattern by Martina Bem. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's a paid for pattern. So it's this here. And I've seen it and I've been wanting to make it for a while, and at the local yarn store she had made a sample using the same yarn I'm using. Not the same color, but it's Estelle Lumiere. And I might have shown you guys the starting of this, I can't remember. But I've done a little bit of progress on it. So the pattern calls for fingering weight, I believe. Yeah, I think it's fingering. I might be wrong though. But this is a worsted. It's like a light worsted. It's not very thick. But I liked the colors, and I was going to make a hat with this, but it needed to be something other than a hat. So I made some progress. I haven't worked on it since becoming under the weather, because it's not that you need to concentrate a lot with this one. It is pretty simple. It's just I really didn't want to mess up. So I have this much done so far. So a nice little chunk. Could do a little cowl right now. So that is what I have done. And aren't the colors, I just love the colors. They're so beautiful. I love the striping effect in this. So I love it. It's turning out really pretty. It's just garter stitch, but there's Honestly, I can't even remember how to do it right now. I have to look at the pattern. But yeah, it's a paid for pattern. I'll try and link it down below if I remember to her, I think it was Ravelry. But I'm sure if you knit, you've probably heard of this one. A lot of people, I can't remember how many people have made it, but there's a lot of people, so there's that. So yeah, that's the only other thing I've been working on. Sorry I cut out there, I thought I was going to sneeze and I didn't want to do that on camera. So yeah, those are my finished objects. I'm really happy with how this hitchhiker's coming out so far. This might be one, I have some fingering weight yarn that I've been keeping in my stash for a long time that I might make it with again. But I'm the kind of person too who, once I make a project once, except for hats. Hats I can make over and over and over again. But once I make something once, I don't want to make it again. So yeah, that's it for works in progress. And I didn't get any acquisitions. The only thing I bought was this, I forgot the price sticker on it. Let me just take that off. I've been pretty good. I haven't been buying yarn very much. Yesterday when I was having, because I was feeling so bleh, I was thinking about going and buying some yarn, but I was good and I didn't. The only thing I bought, I went out last week with my mom and I bought this just to size my knitting needles because I couldn't find mine, and then today I found it and I might have lost it again actually. Look at that. I think I lost it again. I think I'm just losing it. Just kidding. I'm sorry guys. Anyways, so this is the Susan Bates knit check. So the thing I liked about this one is it has the ruler, but it has the little window here. I'll take it out of the package because I will be using it. And I'll be putting it in with my knitting needles. So it has the little window here, so you can check your gauge. So it goes 2 inch by 2 inch, and it has a lot of different needle sizes here. So that's what I liked about this one. So I bought it. It was only like $4. Of course I ripped the tag off, but yeah, it was only like $4. So I was like, I'll get it, since I didn't know where mine was, and apparently I lost it again. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I just found it. I was just cleaning out my craft room a little bit because I was feeling okay. But I lost it again. We'll see. I'll find it eventually. I'm not too concerned. And the reason I was trying to clean up my craft room a little bit. My craft room, if you ask my husband, I am not one who stays organized very well. I try. I'd like to think I'm organized, but I'm not. So, Terry from the Yarn Joy podcast was, her, and someone else, I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. They decided to start a tag, and it's called Flash Your Stash. So, pretty much you talk about your yarn stash and all that, and then you can, show how you organize and everything. So I'll probably do that. It's organized the same way it was before. It's just my craft room, there was stuff all over the floor. Because if ever my husband doesn't really know what to do with something, he just puts it in here, which is what I told him to do. Because if he puts something somewhere else, I don't like it, because I like to know where my things are. So I'll probably try and record that too. I might do that today if I'm feeling up to it. Might not post it today, but we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. No acquisitions other than my, well, you guys saw my Mary Maxim haul that we got. And that's about it. I'm waiting on my Leo and Roxy sock of the month club or whatever. I got notice that it shipped, so you guys, I will try and wait and open it on camera for you guys. Oh, and another thing. I just want to say thank you. I hit 150 subscribers. I know that's not a huge number, but it's big for me. I didn't think that I would get even this far. I just started doing this podcast thing more as something to keep me busy and keep my family in the loop of what I've been working on, especially my aunts, because they're the ones that inspired me to do a lot of the crafting that I do. So they're always well, they say they always watch. I believe them, but yeah, and I'm happy that you guys are enjoying it, and I'm hoping to bring more for you guys. Like I said, I have some tutorials I want to record and whatnot, so and I was talking to my husband about maybe doing some giveaways down the road. My giveaways probably won't be anything big, mostly because of where I lived. Shipping's pretty crazy. I know shipping's crazy anywhere, but it's something that I'd like to do just to give back to you guys, so be on the lookout for stuff like that. And I think I just want to say thank you. It's great, and I'm really enjoying this community a lot. Getting to know other YouTubers and just seeing what everyone else is working on, getting inspired by other people. I think it's a lot of fun. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go for today, because I think my medication's wearing off because I'm feeling really tired right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.